Testing. There, let's try that again. See if that works. Awesome. All right. This is a video I've been meaning to do for a little while. It's been a long time since I even put a video up. I got my coffee. I got my Roll20 development sheet here. I just need to turn my microphone down here. I think that should be good. Back to our actual sheet that I want to talk about. So recently I got a Roll20 subscription, so I've been playing around with the API. There's a couple of really good sheets out there for Conan, but I wanted to do my own sheet that could do more, have a better roller, manage momentum and doom and that kind of thing. So I set out to do such a thing, and here it is. So I don't know if there's anyone there talking. Rob Walker, you're here. Hopefully you can hear me. If so, let me know in the chat. If not, I'll have to try and fix stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's working now. So this sheet is going to be available not on Roll20 as per normal. I'm gonna put it on my blog so you can grab it and put it into a custom sheet in Roll20. It will require a subscription, sadly, just because it uses the API and you need that custom sheet to do it. If you don't have a subscription, I would point you to one of the other two fine sheets that exist for Conan and go use that. Sheet's gone over. Nice. Are you the new sheet, the new one that was on there, Rob? Because the new sheet looks really good, but it's missing the functionality that I want, which has nothing to do with the sheet. It has to do with Roll20. This sheet is probably not quite as pretty as that sheet, but let's talk about it anyways. So I got the sheet connected to Balor here. Let's just pop it up real quick. So this is the character sheet in general. And it's built around being as functional as I can try and make it. And this is the latest iteration. Let's go over to our chat window here so you can see what the successes and stuff look like. So basically, we've got our vigor and our stress, which is just up and down, la la la. After your battle, you can hit reset stress and it comes back up to full, which is nice. Over here we got our basic standard courage and shield rolls, so we can just roll those and get our values. These are combat checks, combat dice checks. They use a table just like every other sheet does, so you got to hover over them to see the results if you want to deal with the effects of them. That works for weapons as well. We got our momentum pool here. So the thing I wanted to do was track momentum, and this is kind of why I needed the API. So let's find one of our things over here. Make it big. So this is the GM panel. It's called map layer to front. All right. The GM panel has to be called the GM panel. It references it by name in the API. So right now on this GM panel, I have 215 Doom and 3 points of momentum in the group pool, which is 215 and 3. It has 215 because I've been using it for a while. So all the players' APIs will reference this when they want to use momentum. So if we come back over here, currently this player has 5 points of personal momentum. And if I hit that get pool button there, it's going to transfer the 3 from there into my own personal pool, allowing me to use it as I would like to. So if I wanted to use, if I had, let's go back to save the pool, put 6 back, because 6 is maximum. Let's say I only had 1 point of momentum and I wanted to roll a die. I could come down to my acrobatics or whatever one I wanted to use and click on the momentum button here, and I would gain 1 point of 1 die. Momentum goes down to 0. So that's pretty much what we want to see. If I roll that, well, let's add some more dice from Doom. We'll see how that works. So now I've got 1 point from momentum, 2 points from Doom. If I want, I can hit reset, but we won't bother. Hit roll dice for acrobatics. Difficulty we'll say is 1. So it's going to roll that. It's going to tell me that I rolled 17 is a success, 18 is not a success, and then 3 more successes, so total of 4. Difficulty 1 makes it momentum 3, and then it just saves that right automatically to my pool. So if you're doing a struggle, you're going to have to modify that manually still. But now it's in there, and if I didn't have 6 already, I could save it to the pool again. But I do, so not going to do very much. Fortune has the same kind of stuff. If I want, I have 1 point of fortune. So if I hit the fortune button here, it's going to give me 1 die in here, subtract it from my fortune, and again when I roll, it's going to give me my roll, and this time it's going to give me a 1, which is the fortune die. It's going to tell me I got 2 successes from fortune, which is awesome, and it's going to subtract it as it's supposed to. We'll also note that the Doom went up to 217 when I rolled those Doom dice, so that's all automatically tracked, which is really what I want. The biggest thing for players to remember is that they always have to hit save to pool when they are they're done, because if they don't, they'll just keep it on their own personal sheet. One of the things I'm thinking of doing is in here, that's not right, in the GM panel of the character sheet, I've got this section here. I'm thinking about, this is sort of designed for the players, like player 1, player 2. So if I put them in by name and they're all spelled properly, I could set up a button in here that transfers all the players' momentum to the momentum pool and clean them up, but I have not done that yet. So this whole interface is all kind of brand new. The basic idea of it worked the same way before. In the old sheet, which is still at the bottom here, I just had all the skills, and you would initially pick the skill you wanted, and that would push you over to a die roller box, and then you build your die pool inside that and then roll it. So I've just moved all that to in line with the skills, just to make it easier for the players to use, hopefully anyways. So below that I got the talents. They don't do very much because they're all, you know, one-off type things, but you can copy and paste them there so you can keep track of what they are, what they do, what the max ranks are, what the cost is. So if there happens to be a cost on it, if you click use, it comes up, says what it is, and you can go spend momentum. In which case it's going to spend 1 point of momentum and subtract it from here. So now I only have 4, which is, you know, the same kind of thing we want to do. Next to the button, I can click spend and tell it I want to spend 3, and then I can tell the GM what I'm spending that on, piercing or whatever. It's all locked up on me. Oh, here we go. The OBS thing messes this up sometimes, so bear with me. There we go. Rid of that. Open up Valor again, so we see the character sheets. So that's like the main screen basically. I've got little check boxes next to the armor so you can click when it's broken if you want. But the cool thing about this, the thing I always forget, is let's say Balor has taken a wound. Click. So we get, say he's taken 2 wounds. So we all know that if you take 2 wounds from vigor, all of your physical tests are going to be affected. So let's hope this works properly, because I did modify some stuff today. Let's roll my 2d20 for my acrobatics. Let's say it's difficulty 1. Hit the submit. So if you look over on the right, you'll see that it's triggered as difficulty 3, which is the 1 plus the 2 wounds. Let's try alchemy. Alchemy triggers as difficulty 1 because it's not a physical thing, right? So that works properly. Let's give us some resolve. Let's get rid of that, so we know that it's working properly. So we got 2 resolve now, 2 trauma. Let's hit that alchemy roll again. This time difficulty 3, so that's pretty sweet. If you hit, I've treated one of those wounds, which means we really only have 1 active harm right now. So we should see difficulty 2. And we do. And a bunch of debugging code in there, because this is all brand new today. So Rob, if you're still working on your sheet and stuff, one of the things I noticed was there was no way to track, at least the last time I looked at it anyways, there's no way to track whether the wounds were healed or not, because I didn't see a way. So if I miss it, apologies. If I didn't miss it, it's something the sheet could use. Other than that, like I said, I really liked how it looked, and I was surprised to see it there, and I was happy to see it there, because I didn't like the original sheet very much. Let's go over to the PC detail. This is just your basic stuff. All your attributes are here. Your equipment is here. This is all tracked with encumbrance. So if I go 3 encumbrance, one of them, all tracks that properly. Adjustments for strong back if you want to use those. Yeah, I track a lot of stuff with tokens too, or with oh, I don't have them turned on in here. With condition markers. I've got I got ones for wounds, I got ones for trauma, ones for all the conditions, yada yada yada. But I don't have them turned on in here because I'm not testing those here. What else we're going to talk about? Gold, same thing. Spend it however you want, same as momentum. It says to spend a gold there. Experience is just a way to store it right now because it doesn't do very much else. Petty enchantments and spells don't work how I want them to. Which is strictly a Roll20 thing that's going to get fixed in the near future, I believe. So if you've actually coded in Roll20, you know that this kind of thing where you hit the plus and you can add new stuff on are called field sets. And what I would like is a nested field set. I'd like to be able to go, I want to add a new class of petty enchantments, and underneath that class, I want to add the petty enchantments I want. Same with spells. I want to be able to add a spell and then add the momentum spends underneath that. Can't do that right now, but it still lets us track our petty enchantments like New Boom, which is 2 combat dice, burning 2 area. This works exactly like weapons, which we didn't look at, but you hit that after your skill test is successful to get your damage roll. Pops up, Valor test, New Boom damage, burning 2 area. Again, hang over top of it. 1 plus effect. Also rolls a torso in there, which is again just a roll table, like we do with the combat tables. Spells are pretty Mickey Mouse right there. I just kind of added these so as a way to store them, since I was running a game and the bad guy is of course a sorcerer, so I needed ways to track their spells. So doesn't do anything hugely right now. You can spend momentum if you want from here, and then tell the players what happens. So that's pretty much how the player sheet works. Again, it's gone away. It hates me. Now I do have, man, I think I made the sheet too long. So the other thing we have in here is NPCs. Some of it works pretty good. Some of it's kind of still working on, but basically the same thing. Momentum for NPCs is Doom essentially. So in this case, you can go click Get Doom. Now I have 218 momentum to play with, so I can do the same things. Over here we have the 2d20 roller, like I said, used to be on the player sheet. But for this, we kind of still need it. So if the melee or Balor was an NPC, you want him to attack, you'd go, I want to use agility and I want to use combat, which then populate over here. Versus difficulty 2, whatever difficulty you want to use, you pick, and then you set your dice up however you want. I'm going to spend 3 because I got 215. Then I would hit roll, and it would say Balor is rolled, a lot of dice. Why do you roll so many dice? Because I have a bunch of minions turned on right now. So It's rolling a bunch of other dice with his guys as well, which may or may not work properly. Not sure. One of those things I just like to check. Generally, that's not going to be very good for Nemesis anyways, because they're going to have different stats than the guys they're with. So, but that's still a work in progress. But it's pretty functional in general. Soak combat die for shields. All the doom spells and special abilities are in here as well. Can I do this? Will this let me get down? Yeah, there we go. Let's do this. Did I come back? Hopefully I came back. Looks like I did. Looks like my connection dropped for half a second there. Yeah, so attacks are the same as PCs. We'll just see how that looks now. You can just roll click your button there. It'll roll your stuff on there. Yeah, lost my connection for half a second. But one of the other things that I'm working on is a way to add loads. So if I have a load here and I click this, so theoretically what it's done now is added me a combat die and given me an exception die here, which is this one. So if I roll well, let's actually give myself, what is it? Coordination and combat for ranged. Let's say it is. So we roll, and it rolls a bunch of dice again, because again, everything's all still kind of messed up. So that's not very good. I'll have to fix that, but you get the idea of how things are supposed to work. This is the old version of it again, so it still has a button where I have to click to keep momentum. But let's come down here and let's roll our combat dice. So see if we get 7 or 8. So it rolled 8 combat dice, so that's correct for the load. So that part works. I mean, that's the point of this sheet, was to make things as automated as possible. And there's still a few things I need to double check on. Probably my stream isn't broadcasting super good, which sucks. I go live so freaking awesome, or often, that it never wants to work for me. Now, I'm going to have to deal with the blurry screen, I guess. I'm not sure how I would fix that. It's probably, it's not transmitting fast enough. Sorry about that. Let's blame YouTube for that problem, and not me. Hello from Canada. What else do we want to talk about on this sheet? I don't know. Save Doom. It's my cool Doom save thing there. That's like totally stolen art, so don't tell anybody. Shh. Hopefully YouTube doesn't like blacklist me for that. I might have got it off drive-through actually and used it for my own personal stuff. Yeah, let's go with that. PC. So you guys have any questions about the sheet, what it can do, what it can't do? That's all going to get stripped off eventually. I'm going to add another section for momentum spans. I had one before, but I took it off as I'm rebuilding it, which just had buttons for all the basic combat spans. We got stuff on here. I can like click, spend a point of fortune. Let's give myself a point of fortune. I can go, I want to use my point of fortune to ignore wounds. So now when I do I'm just assuming this stuff still works because it's been a while. When I click that, difficulty 1, still comes up as difficulty 1, so it ignored that wound because I spent my fortune. Yeah, Rob, that the way Roll20 works is, you're probably aware, it's just another tab on top of it, so it's all in the same HTML and cascading style sheets. It's all the same stuff. So is the GM panel. This is going to require basically the loading of three different files: an HTML file, the CSS file, and the API file. And then everything has to be named properly. And by everything, I mean the GM panel needs to be named GM panel, all capitals. However, I'm working on some other stuff inside of it that would be just kind of like useful tools. And I don't know if it'll work or not, but let's find out. Shem, mail, Let's cross your fingers, everybody. All right. So I need a guy named Ninsun. So inside the Roll20 API that I built, I have a small thing in here. The adventure was in Shem, so I did that first. Basically, it has some male names and some female names. When you create it, it creates a character in the Roll20, and it pops it up. Just gives you a quick stat block, and not very much else. Like, it doesn't populate the actual sheet. But it gives you an idea of things you can do. It just gives me, I gave them 2 basic stats, a mental target number and a physical target number, a classification, and a quick weapon. So if you needed like to pull a quick guy up quick, you could do that if you're so inclined. Then he has a name and he's ready to go. That's just a quick little hidden thing I popped in there, which is not ready for prime time. But so weapons are basically, come in, type in your weapon name, whether it's melee, ranged, or threatened. Hands, one-handed, two-handed, and balanced, not applicable, which should be for threatened. Reach and range, these don't do anything automatically right now, and I would really love to think of a good way to do them automatically because I always forget. Damage, wherever you want to set to. Damage 5, if it's set to melee, we'll add the brawn to it automatically. So if we come back to here, sword is melee 5, we should see 7 dice roll. Go down here, 8 dice rolled. I think that's that load still kicking in. I don't think it resets yet. Yeah, so it says use 1 load here, so that's a thing I need to get to reset after I use it, and I probably have to use the API for that, and it's probably through a sheet worker right now. But either way, apart from the load, it worked properly. We can recover our vigor, standard action, etc., right? Those are all kind of just telling the GM what you're doing. They don't really have a mechanical thing. The only mechanical things, well, these probably recover your resolve. Standard action isn't going to do anything though. It's just going to say you took it. If that doesn't even do that, I probably crashed the API. Nope. Did not crash the API. Thought for sure I had. I mean, yeah. So I just haven't coded that to do anything yet. It just subtracts the fortune. In the end, I'll have a, what are those things called? A roll template that tells you what's going on. But yeah, that's how things are right now. It's pretty functional and works pretty good. The biggest thing is teaching people how to use it and making sure they save their momentum to the pool, and making sure you use a GM, drop one of those on there. The other thing you have to do in here, the token, is these have to be set to momentum, current round if you want it, and doom. And then in here, these have to be see and edit and then visible to everyone. Otherwise, they will not see the numbers. If they do not see the numbers, it's kind of pointless. Doom is set to 217 of 1 so that they can see 217 of 1. That's maxed out at 6 by code, but also by the token value in there. You can use whatever picture you want. That does not matter, obviously, or shouldn't. Maybe not obviously, but you can use whatever you want. Skull, crossbones, whatever. Yeah, so that's where things stand right now. I haven't dropped it out anywhere yet, but I'll probably put a post to it on my blog this week because I'm fairly happy with how it works right now. But yeah, like I say, not perfect, but getting there pretty quickly. I'm also going to build in like a quick roll for skills so that you can access a quick roll based on rolling number of dice and then the target number and focus that you want to roll for, so that you can just do a quick guy again without having to actually enter an entire character sheet. Yeah, so any other questions before I end this today? And I might try and do more of these and kind of just go over my thoughts on using Roll20 to play Conan 2D20. So I have my own thoughts on the best way to do things, the best way to track things, uh, which may be exactly how some people do things, but maybe not. Especially momentum-wise. Well, it doesn't work as good in this game as it does in John Carter, where everyone has personal momentum. You can use a condition marker, like one of these guys. Be like, so this guy has, if you load the same image 5 times, you can be like, he has 5 doom or 5 momentum or whatever, instead of trying to hand out a card. So, like I found when I tried to use cards to store momentum for people, that Roll20 didn't always catch up in time. Sometimes it was just slow, and they wouldn't get the cards. So, using this as a concept where you load 6 or 7 or 8 gems or something like that, gem icons, you can be like, that guy scored 2 points of momentum, come over and just go like book, book, and then he has 2 points to remember. For like dread creatures where they have their own personal doom pool on the icon in Roll20, I give them the 2 points, and then I save the icon onto the character sheet at that point in time. So when I pull them out, like, I got oh, he probably won't work. It's not in this game. But like if I got like a dinosaur that has that's dread 3, when I pull him out and drop him on there, you already have 3 gems stored, so you can remember. But I'll do another video based on that kind of stuff later, because I do have quite a few ideas now that I've actually started running games in it. So thanks for stopping by, Rob, Damien, DP. It's good seeing everyone stop by and seeing some comments. Like I said, Rob, thanks for that character sheet. It looks good as well, and I think lots of people will get use out of it, and it's way prettier. So that's a thumbs up from me. And if you guys want to play John Carter, roll over. There's a John Carter character sheet now you can play with, based on the same system as this character sheet, but without all the automation, because it doesn't use the API. Oh, excuse me. With that, we're going to kick back over to here. Don't forget to subscribe, like the bell icon for get notifications of the one video in a year I tend to post. I'm planning on doing more. I'm in a new house now, so hopefully I'll have more time. But that's going to be it for today, folks. So y'all have a good day, and don't forget to stop by the Conan Gaming group on Facebook, because that's where I hang out. Also on Twitter. Find me there.